Good evening, good morning, good afternoon, good morrow, depending on what time zone it is that you are watching, whether you are joining us live or whether you are watching on the replays. My name is, as per usual, Bobby Effin Salazar, and with me on the line currently is one of the top wrestling stars in Canada currently, none other than the one and only Salem Wilder. How are we doing this evening?
Hello. I am, you know what? I'm pretty great. I'm very happy to be here. This is actually my first podcast appearance
Is
ever.
it actually?
It is.
Oh, wow. Well, I must say that
Yeah,
I wanted to have you on. So, yeah. Well, I didn't realize that it was your first. And,
it
yeah.
is. Yeah, especially like about wrestling. So this is
Hmm.
very exciting for me.
Well, happy days. I'd also publicly like to thank the one and only Mr. Justin Summers, Nerdic Pro stablemate, and the great guy from Ireland Pro Wrestling, based off of Prince Edward Island in Canada, for putting us in contact. And all that, and stream on um, yeah, from Richie Stoneham, who's member of the Nerdic Pro podcast, saying hello all. Yeah, if I can get the thing off. There we are. So,
I was gonna say
yeah,
you're cutting
so,
out a little bit.
am I? Oh, sorry, if I can.
That's all good. You're good now. Oh no,
Oh,
maybe some
technology, I
technical
hate it.
issue. I was gonna say, it went dead silent there for a second.
Can you hear me right now?
I can absolutely hear you.
Right, sweet. Like, I think it's because I had my mobile data on plus my Wi-Fi, and that completely
Okay.
like they don't like working with like with each other. Like when I do these, so yeah. As I said before, we come on technology. I absolutely hate it, and yeah. So yeah. So introduce yourself to the audience live and on the replays, etc. Because obviously, as this is your first podcast appearance, um, just have a bit of like an introduction to yourself.
Absolutely.
How did you first get involved with wrestling? Was it something that you grew up watching and became a fan of, or was it something that you just discovered and then thought, yeah, like, I wanted to like get into that sort of thing?
Absolutely. So, as was stated, I am Salem Wilder. I am a professional wrestler out of Fredericton, New Brunswick, in Canada. I am the former NBWA Women's Champion. Unfortunately, last month, did see that title slip out of my hands, but I'm hoping, manifesting for 2026 that it comes back to me. That hot pink strap, it belongs with me. I wish I could say that I grew up with wrestling. I really wish I could because I know so many people have such like fond memories of, like watching wrestling with their family, with their father, with their grandmother. But I only started watching wrestling in like 2022. Started actually with AEW and some Japanese companies. I was actually seeing someone who was into wrestling, and I was a big theater kid growing up.
Yeah.
Um, Big theater kid, did musical theater. That was kind of my jam. Left it, didn't really have any hobbies going on. Started seeing this person who was into wrestling, and it would be on TV when I was over hanging out. And I like at first wasn't watching it because I was like, oh, this is dumb, like because I grew up in the era when everybody started saying like, oh, wrestling's fake. Like that was the era. So I'm like,
Yeah.
oh, this is stupid. And then I'd be like on my phone and just like glancing up at the TV, watching like John Moxley like do some crazy stuff. And I'm like, what is going on here? Um, then I got invited to see some live matches with Capital City Wrestling here in Fredericton, and I think it was July 2023. I saw my first women's match ever, like live. It was Miley and Alexia Nicole. Um, and it honestly just kind of blew my mind. I had never seen women wrestling live, and it kind of put like that seed in my head of like, maybe I could do that. And I'll be so real, I was like super out of shape at the time, like just like it's fine, we all are going through it sometimes, but I kind of thought like maybe I could do that. And then aforementioned person was like, you couldn't do, like you could never do that. And I was like, oh, okay. So then a month later it ended, and I was like, I'm secretly gonna become a pro wrestler, and I'm gonna debut, and no one's gonna know, and everybody's mind is gonna be blown, and it's gonna be amazing. And it happened, like accidentally. It happened. I made my Fredericton debut like last second. I was like a sub in because Vanna Black ended up being sick that day, so I had to sub in. It was my third match ever. It was against Nikita. And like it was like 5 minutes. It was, but I did it, and it was kind of crazy, and it was like that whole like full circle moment. And actually, I'm pretty sure that person who told me I could never be a wrestler was there when I won the title last April. So it's kind of been like a full circle thing, and it's not something that I ever really thought like I never like growing up was like I'm gonna be a pro wrestler because I
Mm,
was like not my thing. I was not athletic. I did theater, but now like I can't imagine myself without it. Like I
yeah.
kind of just remember going through my initial training when I first started out and like leaving so hyped up of like, oh my gosh, like I did this, like I was running the ropes, I did this, like I someone did this move to me, and it just made me feel like so good, and I'd have such like adrenaline, and it's addicting. Like I never wanted to stop. So
Mm.
when I sorry, this is such a long story. When I ended up
No,
being
right.
injured over the summer, like I didn't realize how much like I missed it until I couldn't do it. So
Yeah.
I'm so happy to be back. This is actually gonna be this weekend my second match back since I've returned from injury. So yeah, it's
Yeah.
been like a whole saga over like a couple of years, but it's so fun. I love it.
Yeah, like I'm aware that you broke your ankle during the match, didn't you? Or was it your ankle
It
that
was
took you
my
out of action?
ankle. Was actually I was actually attacked by someone, officially. Slammed my ankle in a car door. Sorry, figuring out my left and right here. My right ankle was broken, end of June. So, right first day of summer. Broke my ankle, went into the hospital, was there for like 13 hours, waited to get seen,
God,
didn't get seen, ended up going to a different hospital. This was like 8 in the morning, finally got seen, got casted up, had to learn how to walk again. It
oh,
was a
God.
whole thing. Yeah. It was, I don't feel like I like processed it until I got cleared to wrestle again. And then I was like, oh, that was a lot. Like,
Yeah,
I went all that time, like, didn't fully process it because I was just so focused on, like, I need to get better. I need to come back. So,
yeah. Oh, good. Wow, that's yeah. I was gonna say like coming from someone that the refs over here, like I put something up on Facebook quite recently, saying that weekends, like I can't be like the only person that thinks this, saying that the weekends when people don't have shows are boring as hell, right? And yeah, like I'm glad that I'm not the only one that thinks that. You know what I mean? And yeah, and yeah, but wow. So when did you make your comeback? It was towards the end of last year, wasn't it? If I'm not mistaken, towards the end of last
yeah,
year.
my first match back after being injured was actually last month, like
Mm,
December 20th, I believe, was Capital City Wrestling's Christmas Clash.
mm.
My first match back, yeah, it was against Vanna Black. It was a humbling experience to be back in the ring. Like you can say like however much cardio you want to do at the gym. Nothing compares to being in the actual ring, running, lifting, jumping, kicking, punching. Like nothing compares to that level of physical exertion.
Yeah. So, were you happy to have got back
Oh,
like wrestling again?
yes, absolutely. Like it was killing me not being able to be in the ring. I was so lucky that with Capital City Wrestling, they ended up one day putting me on commentary like right after I had broken my ankle. Because, as you can probably tell, I'm a bit of a yapper. I like to talk. Bit of a yapper. So they needed someone on commentary, and I was like, sure, I'll do commentary. I was really nervous. Um, and then like New Brunswick Professional Wrestling Association, NBWA and CCW, they do like their tours around the province in the summer. Um, and I wanted to go like because I was getting serious FOMO. Like I could not think about even just like staying home and missing a show. I did that once because they went up north to Campbellton and it's a 4-hour drive.
Yeah.
And I was like, okay, recently, like broken ankle, like 3 days before, I'm not making that drive. And it killed me just knowing that they were all up there doing a show, having a great time. So then I made sure that I went to almost every single show over the summer.
Mm.
Even I had, crutches. At one point, I had one of those little like scooters, like that you put your knee on to like scoot around the arenas, like in Minto. It was so great. But
Yeah.
yeah, I did commentary, but nothing is like being in the ring. I actually should not have done this, so don't tell my surgeon. But I was like in a walking cast, like taking bumps in the ring, like after setup, like don't recommend that, but yeah, I couldn't help it. I was like, guys, watch, I can still do a bump.
You've got to have like your physiotherapy like for certain things like somehow, haven't you? Do you know what I mean? So,
I did I
uh,
did go to my physiotherapist and I don't know, if it's like by nature of being a wrestler, and like was like I was in pretty decent shape when I got injured, but like she was like, I've never seen someone go through physio like this fast. Like I was like, yes, I'm an A+ student. Like let's go. Yeah.
well, going back to you calling yourself a yapper, right? That's the entire point of doing podcasts. Do you know what I mean?
Perfect.
Richie in the comments will say to you, like we're forever going off on tangents, and we'll start off talking about one thing, and then we'll end up talking about something completely different in like 2 or 3 seconds, and yeah, that's like the entire point. So
Perfect. I
yeah,
was built for this.
speaking of the devil, Richie, he's put a comment in the chat saying, "How do you find doing commentary? I've always wondered how, in the quotation marks, it's done. Is it all on the fly, or do you guys get cliff notes?"
Well, it depends because for some people, a lot of times with commentary, there's like play-by-play commentary, the person kind of narrating, the action, what's going on.
Mm,
Um, and then there's a lot of times like a color commentary, who's just kind of along for the ride, making comments. That one was me.
mm,
That one was me. I feel like I know wrestling, but to be able to just like tell you everything that's going on, that is not my forte. Um, so for me, color commentary all on the fly, play by play might have some notes about, some stats, some names, like things that wrestlers might want to be announced, um, or things to look out for. Color for me is all on the fly, and unfortunately, that's kind of gotten me in a little bit of hot water sometimes. I've had to send messages to editors and say, hey, I'm so sorry. During this match, I just said something and like I didn't like it just sounds like nothing bad, but sometimes I'll just say things without realizing how it sounds. Um, and I'm like, hey, thinking back, this might sound out of context, really weird. Do you mind just clipping that out for me? Like, never anything bad, but just saying things that I'm like, oh, this could be taken. in a very different way of the way that I wanted it. Um, Here's an example that I don't mind sharing, um, but it might give you an example of how it can be taken differently. I was doing commentary on a show, and Zane Valentine was there. He's in Capital City Wrestling. He's in IPW, but he is known also for being a yapper. But like in matches, like when you're supposed to be wrestling, um, he likes to talk. He likes to get out. He likes to do his thing. And I made the mistake of saying that I don't even want to say it again. Saying that he had the most active mouth in the Maritimes, and it just, as you can see, I meant it one way, but it can sound completely different. So I was like, hey, that's not really like I didn't mean it that way, and I don't want people to take it out of context. I just meant that he needs to maybe stop talking and start wrestling, but like he was gonna get counted out. But anyway, again, so done on the fly, maybe not always the best idea, but it is very fun. I loved it. I got to do it with one of my best friends, Conrad Pollock. So super fun, super fun.
Yeah. Um, who was it? I think it was Michael Cole. Had said that 9 times out of 10, like he probably won't have like notes for the match because he wants his like reactions to be like to spots and to matches to be like a legit reaction
Oh,
rather
absolutely.
than like a staged like scripted sort of thing. And
Oh, absolutely.
so yeah, like it's not always like a bad thing to call it on the fly, especially when it comes to planning matches as well. Like that's not always like a bad thing to plan certain spots like during like the match itself, like depending on on the spot and everything.
Mm.
So Richie said, yes, Bobby, I remember us doing a prediction pod for a WWE PLE, and we spent an hour complaining about AEW. I think this was when we did the SummerSlam predictions for SummerSlam in 2023. And literally, whilst we were live doing that podcast, it was announced by like Bleacher Report or someone that CM Punk had then been terminated by AEW. And then we literally spent
Mm.
like the next hour like blabbering on like about that, and yeah, and like we were only like 2 matches deep in SummerSlam as well, and yeah, so yapping is a good thing to do, but like in our opinion, and,
I
yeah,
feel like everybody who's into wrestling though, like that's what we do. We talk about wrestling, like every aspect of wrestling. It could go on forever. I've gone
yeah,
on 4-hour car rides with, some of my friends from Capital City Wrestling, with like our photographer Mariah, with Conrad, with like Hunter Sampson. And Conrad and Hunter will go sit in the back seat of the RAV4, and the whole time they'll be like, what about, and they'll just name like the most obscure wrestlers for like 4 hours. And it's like, I think that's just like a thing that wrestling fans and wrestlers and people adjacent to the wrestling world do. Like, they can just talk about it
mm.
forever. It's just a thing. There's like so much to talk about.
Like I said to you, like a bit earlier on, I have ref for a dozen different companies over here in the UK, and I've spent many a road trip with no end of people, and you can just talk about one little story or one little backstage thing, one little spot in a match for God knows how long, and that literally, like, next thing you know, whilst you're going on like about whatever it is, next thing you know, like you're then pulling up to the venue, so it doesn't feel
Mm-hmm.
like as long of a journey. You know what I mean?
Absolutely.
And yeah, yeah, this is what I love about wrestling. You can, like, there's always stories to tell. Do you know what I mean?
Mm,
You know,
absolutely.
and this is why I do like the podcast and what have you. I've done for nearly 6 years now. Because like you get to hear these stories like of people and what have you. Do you know what I mean? And like listening to other various different podcasts with people, and like you get to hear these, road stories and backstage stories, and like show day bits and pieces and what have you, and yeah, which is to me coming from a wrestling fan and a podcast host and a referee in
Hmm.
wrestling, it's for the best, I think. Like you know what I mean, and yeah, so.
Absolutely. There's so much stuff you can talk about. Like, again, you can go on literally forever.
Mm, yeah, exactly. Um, Richie said we discussed matches longer than the PLE. It was on before when the Tism strikes in Nerdic Pro podcast. It strikes hard.
That's so real. That is so real. Yeah, absolutely. Especially thinking about, Conrad and Hunter in the back seat.
Mm,
I mean, obviously, I'm very new to wrestling, but there is names that I could not have fathomed could have ever been a wrestler. I can't
mm,
even tell you examples because I've heard so many names. Uh, but yeah, just imagine driving in a car for 4 hours and all you hear is, "What about Big Bully Busick?" Like, for like 4 hours. Like,
yeah,
how? Have a nap.
yeah.
I don't know.
Yeah, and then like when you're seeing people like kick off online and like what have you, and like hearing like the bad stories that what's that film called that people like reference? Like the good, the bad, and the ugly, like
Mm,
side of bits and pieces. That was it, and yeah, like when it comes to different people, different shows, promoters, wrestlers, refs, announcers, whatever. Do
mm-hmm.
you know what I mean? But yeah, like there's always stories to be told. Do you know what I mean? So like, letting like, just to like the time like pass away and what have you, and yeah. So going back to your sort of first introductions with wrestling, your where is it you first started training then? Was it Capital City? Was it the New Brunswick promotions?
Yeah, so Capital City Wrestling and New Brunswick Professional Wrestling Association kind of jointly have a training facility called River Valley Athletics Club, and they train out of Fredericton. Um, I actually was working retail, and I was the assistant manager at a store, and I was thinking, maybe I wanted to be a wrestler, and then uh, someone came in who I recognized as the valet of one of the wrestlers, and I was like, oh my gosh, like I know her. I'm gonna connect with her about wrestling. So I was ringing her through, and I was like, hey, like I've been thinking about like starting to wrestle, and she was like, well, you should come to training tonight. And I was like, really? She was like, yeah, here, like, here's a number for the guy who runs it. Like, give him a text, come do like a little tryout, and then you'll see if you can, keep coming. So I went. I was so nervous. I was like the only woman training at the time, and for a long time, like I was the only girl there, which was like kind of intimidating, but at the same time, like it was kind of nice because the guys don't want to hit me that hard because they're like, "Oh, we're gonna break her," but then I just give it like right back, like real hard. I think they're scared of me. But yeah, out of Fredericton, I made my debut in Minto, New Brunswick, outside of town. Second show was up north, about 4 hours away, and then my third, real like not expected to be, but my third match was in Fredericton, was like the big one at the time.
Mm.
Yeah.
So, do you remember your first training session then? Like, were there any like nerves going into it? You know,
Oh, yeah.
yeah.
Like I said, I was not athletic at all. Um, like I think the most athletic I've ever been was I used to do dance in like grade 9, and then which that was like 2010. And I played badminton in grade 8, so that would have been 2009. So like that's the extent of my sporting history. But once I kind of had that thought in my head of like, I'm gonna be a wrestler, I started like hitting the gym and I was like, I'm gonna do this. So I went to training, did like my little tryout, They watched me, like kind of saw like if I could listen to like directions, if I was like willing to try stuff. And then I kind of, you kind of start with the basics, like a little bit of like chain wrestling, like a little technical wrestling action. And I just remember being so confused of like, like how do I put my hands and like how do I, because again, like having a dance background, I feel like it does kind of lend itself to being a wrestler because, it's like sequences, making sure things flow properly, making sure like you're doing things correctly, but it also makes me almost hyper focus on like, okay, if I'm going to kick someone this way, like what are my arms doing? Like it doesn't matter what my arms are doing, but in my head I'm like, so what are my arms doing? Like if I'm trying out something and I'm talking to my trainer and I'm like, okay, so I want to try this like kind of backwards like leg lariat kick. Like let me try it on you and then I do it and then all of a sudden I'm like, oh my God, what should I do with my arms? It doesn't matter, but
Mm.
I still am like having those thoughts, but I was very nervous. But then I kind of, they made me feel so comfortable. They were very welcoming, very encouraging, but also not too like not soft on me. They're like, if I like didn't do it, they'd be like, okay, do it again. And if I'm like, I don't know if I could do it, like they'd push me until eventually they're like, okay, you can try next time. So very
Yeah.
great environment.
Yeah. So with like several different matches you've had, you've also been lucky enough to in the space of like a couple of years, also have a couple of different championship reigns and a couple of title matches as well.
Mm,
I'm aware that you've got a match coming up this Saturday, I believe,
yes,
for Capital City Wrestling.
I
Um,
do.
and yeah, I'm aware that this has been brewing up for a while for this Saturday. So, do you want to sort of take us through the build up to your Capital City Wrestling title match on Saturday?
So actually, this Saturday, I'm going to be wrestling Casey Diamond, out of Quebec, and I've never wrestled Casey before. I'm kind of excited. Actually, yeah, I'm actually very excited. We haven't met up. It's actually not a title match, I'm sorry.
Huh?
Because Vanna Black won the titles, and I believe she is in Ontario this weekend.
Okay.
But
Yeah.
I am really hoping that the board will see fit to grant me a title match again soon. But this Saturday, so excited, facing Casey Diamond. I heard she can be fierce, but I can take it. I've wrestled Bia Moss for my first match. If I can survive that, she's brutal.
Mm.
God love her. She's brutal. I was so brute.
Yeah.
Think I can handle anything, and you know what? I can give it right back.
Mm.
I get so excited every time I wrestle someone new because it's someone that I'm gonna get a chance to learn from. They're gonna hit me with things that I won't expect. Learn some new stuff, meet new people, show Fredericton why their local girl is the one that they like to root for. And yeah, so I know last month I did lose my title, and that was because of Stormy Hale, her interference in my match here in Fredericton, dressed as the Grinch of all things, kind of ruined my Christmas spirit a little bit. That was my favorite Christmas movie, but it's definitely not anymore. So, I think a lot of people in Fredericton were maybe hoping that I would face her this month, but right now I've got more important things to attend to. She will get what is coming to her when it's time, and
Mm.
this month is not time. I'm going to continue to build, shake off a little bit of that ring rust, you know, build back up.
Mm.
And I think I said this in my promo, but like you can kick me down, but I'm never down permanently. I'm gonna keep getting back up.
Mm. Speaking of Stormy Hale, I'm aware that you've got a match against her on the
Yeah,
28th of next month for Ireland Pro Wrestling.
absolutely. Mm-hmm.
So,
Yes.
will the feud between yourself and Stormy Hale come to an end there, or are things only getting started?
Honestly, I think it's a little bit up to her. She's been to Prince Edward Island a lot of times before me. She might
Mm,
have a bit of a following, but I've been, trying to make my way out to PEI for quite a few months actually, ever since, they started back up with this new era.
mm,
It just hasn't worked out for whatever reason. Either, there's already another show on that day, have got school going on,
mm.
or broken ankle. I was hoping to be on, one of their shows in the summer, and then, as Justin Timberlake says, this is gonna ruin the whole tour. Broke my ankle. I don't know. It's I think the moment I see her in the ring, it's not going to be a pretty moment, but I
Yeah.
don't know if it's going to be, a culmination or if it's just going to be the beginning. I don't think I'll know until the moment happens,
Mm.
you know?
So it'll be like another chapter, like in the story, sort of like, so to speak.
Absolutely, yeah.
Yeah.
It's also fresh, so recent for
Mm,
me, that she really did screw me over.
mm,
And don't love that personally, because I thought we were starting to get along, but anyway. But yeah, it's definitely going to be a new chapter for IPW, I think. Like
mm,
I love Prince Edward Island. So excited to be there. Um, but yeah, with Storm and PEI, I don't know what kind of following she's got out there. I
mm.
think whatever happens in PEI, it's how much is it? It's about in a month and a week. It's a
Yeah.
lot of time to see, kind of how things develop. We're living in the same city. We occasionally
Mm,
see each other. Things could explode. Things could be better. I'm not sure, but
mm.
I'm not worried, is all I'll say. I'm not
Yeah.
worried.
I was going to say I've been quite friendly with Justin Summers at
Mm,
IPW the past, I'd say, year, and pretty much been working with IPW since the whole like this new era version
mm-hmm.
of IPW. And I remember you saying that you had a show, excuse me, had a match on the 20th of last month. I know that IPW
Yes.
had a show the same day in
Yep.
Charlottetown on PEI, the Stone Mercy show, and
Yep.
yeah, like, I can't lie, like, I think the RPW are doing some fantastic things,
Oh,
and
absolutely.
yeah, like, I think that it'll be great to see a clash between yourself and Stormy Hale on the 28th of next month. So
Absolutely.
yeah, yeah. So talk us through sort of like other bits and pieces that you've done, like with wrestling since you first got started, and things that you've like other bits and pieces that you've got coming up, or bits and pieces that like you'd like to like achieve, places that you like to go, certain people that you'd like to share a ring with at some point in the near future.
Absolutely. Whew, sorry, my brain, I'm like processing. Um, so yeah, so this Saturday, January 24th, I'm facing off against Casey Diamond here in Capital City Wrestling. And of course, the next month on the 21st of February is the next Capital City Wrestling show. Um, Hoping that maybe I could have a little pull with the board so that maybe I could face Storm there, maybe get a little tension off my chest, get things heated up for PEI. I'm not sure how it's gonna go. Gotta, really state my case. Capital City Wrestling every month has a show pretty much, so looking forward to that. And of course, the summer touring was really sad to miss out on that this summer, so really hoping to be hit the ground running for that. Of course, I am going to be appearing in PEI, hoping to, if everything goes well, hoping they'll still have me on. It's one of my favorite places. Haven't been there in a few years. Really hoping, like, seems like a great vibe. Love the shows that they put on. Love that, it's so accessible on Facebook for like the main show and on Patreon for the VIP matches. Makes me feel like I'm a little exclusive on the VIP, like gotta pay a little extra to see me. Um, but people I'd love to face, all the people I face, I feel like I've learned so much for them. There's definitely people I would love to face again. Drea Mitchell is like a machine. Love her. She's so scary. She's so tough. Would love to wrestle her again. Same as Zoe Sager. She has that like WWE ID kind of prospect. Um, so cool to wrestle her. Learned a lot from her. I feel like everybody in the locker room really did. They had so many questions for her. Love to wrestle her again. So pretty much everyone I've ever faced off with, I would be so happy to like wrestle them again and again. Danny Leo, also so tough. She's so small. She's so tough. Like, I have like such a weird, strange soft spot for like if this girl can beat me up, like I love her, bring her back. Like if we're gonna like maul each other and like beat the crap out of each other, I'm in. Like if we're gonna hit each other and I'm not scared that they're gonna think I hit too hard, like I'm so in for this. I
Yeah.
just this sounds like such a sicko thing. Like if we're gonna beat the crap out of each other, like let's go, let's do it. I love you. But also like, you know, um people I've never wrestled who I would love to wrestle. Of course, I'm getting to wrestle Casey Diamond on Saturday, so that's someone I've been hoping to face off for a while. Honestly, like anyone wants to throw at me, I'd be so happy to do it. Like everybody kind of has a different style, everybody approaches things differently. I love getting to face new people, and I feel like I get better every time that I do. I feel like I was able to kind of get to the level that I was at before my injury because I had the opportunity to face so many like amazing wrestlers, like female
Yeah.
wrestlers that I just want to keep improving. So I'm like, feed me more. Um, in terms of places I want to go, obviously, Fredericton, do the New Brunswick tour. Would love to get back on IHW, Miramichi, Moncton area. I really enjoy working with that company. Have a lot of friends who work there, IPW. And then it was actually my goal this past summer. I was really hoping to wrestle in Quebec. One of my best friends lives in Quebec City, and there's so much great wrestling in Quebec, like NSPW and all that. Like, I was so down. Then I got injured, but I'm hoping like that's going to be my summer goal is to wrestle in Quebec, maybe Ontario. Also, that's what I wanted to do this summer too. My grandmother was really hoping that she was going to get to bring all her friends to see me wrestle in Ontario. My grandmother, I guess, uh, brings all her friends over and they have wine night and they watch YouTube videos of my matches.
Bless her.
So, yeah, really, I would love to wrestle in a different country. I don't know if that's like a thing this year. I don't have a passport right now because they're expensive. But like on the wrestling bucket list, a different country is definitely up there. Maybe one day a different continent. Um, so many good people. So many good
Mm.
people. Kristara, would love to wrestle her. She's like way up there. Oh, my cat is here. One second. Look at that.
Does you
This is
want to say hi? Hello.
Marnie. Um, yeah. Ultimate goal of 2026 though, get my title back.
Mm.
That's like what I'm trying to hone in on. Like I'm every night, not every night, but I like lay in bed and I'm like, how do I get my title back? That hot pink strap is like haunting me. I see it in my dreams. I need
Uh,
it back.
uh, so Richie again has put finding a partner you can knock seven shades out of and smile afterwards is awesome.
Real, very real, Richie. I remember when I first started training, this just reminded me of that. I kind of, they're like, I think you could, be like really good at, like I was so scared to hit people because you know, I was a theater kid. I wasn't fighting anybody. Like that was not my thing. So I just remember my trainer being like, like when you get punched in the face, and I was like, no, I don't know when you get punched in the face. So I was like so scared to hit anyone. And then when I started to actually like give it to them, like really whack them. Like I said, like the guys at training are scared of me now, like especially when I'm like chops and they're like, no. They're like, get away from me. Leaving handprints. But I would like giggle and smile because it just filled me with so much glee to like give them a big old like whack.
Yeah.
Um, they're like, what is wrong with you? Like, this is like the most baby face thing I've ever seen. Like, why are you getting so much glee out of like whacking people? I'm like, I don't know. Just so satisfying.
Uh, there's there's a like someone who wrestles locally to me that I've refed her before and worked on a few shows with her before, and she is tiny. She literally about 4.5 foot, right?
Wow.
Wrestled as Annabelle as the living dead doll,
Oh
and
my God.
yeah, she comes out wearing dolls and some sort of
Yeah.
like some sort of like horror gimmick. Um,
That's kind of sweet. I
Literally
love
everywhere
that.
she is, she's a baby face, you know. But she's someone who is literally the epitome of size don't matter, you know.
Yeah.
As like I've refed her before, and my God, she's got a punch on her. You know what I mean?
It's always
She's
like the
got a
little
whack on her.
ones. It's the
Yeah,
little ones. I
yeah.
mean, like, I'm not that little. Like, I'm probably like 5'1". I guess that's kind of small, but I found like a lot of women I wrestle are similar or like a little bit taller. Everybody comes in different shapes and sizes, but like
Mm.
it really is, I feel like maybe me compensating for my height. I don't know. It just brings me so much joy.
Uh,
It's so satisfying to effectively, it kind of reminds me of like Willow Nightingale a little bit on AEW.
mm,
Just
yeah.
like the like she's so like smiley face, but she's also like, I'm gonna murder you. I love it. It's so great.
Like you when it comes to the point where where the crowd like literally scared for when she comes out, that she's
Mm,
doing like a job as a wrestler probably. You know what I mean?
absolutely. Yeah.
And yeah. So speaking of sort of like character work, etc. Would you say that you prefer working babyface? Would you say that you prefer working heel? What have you done like the most of? Yeah, babyface or heel work?
I am, like I said, the definition of babyface. I don't know if I have it in me to be otherwise, like this is, I'm sure I could do it, but like this is me. This is just who I am. Like I just go out there and I'm just me, but like punching people, like kicking people. Like this is literally just who I am. Like when people say character work, I'm like, my character is literally just me.
Yeah.
I don't know. Like it's just me. That's all.
Yeah. Okay then. Yeah, fair enough. So again, Richie coming in with the comments. Can't get rid of him. So Richie said, "Hitting people is fun. Getting hit is fun. Fighting is fun, especially when you come from a background of being in the inverted commas delicate, and you realise that you're not made of glass."
Yeah, absolutely. And when you're wrestling, you have like that adrenaline rush. So some particularly hits hurt in the moment, but like you don't really feel it
Mm.
uh till afterwards. But it's just so fun, like getting the crowd to like gasp, be like, oh my God, like there's just something so satisfying about hitting someone so hard and everyone around you just going, oh, I don't know what it is. Gives me a thrill.
Yeah, I mean, I've been hit by steel chairs by people who are, like mainly like deathmatch workers and
Oh
what have you,
yeah,
and it's
have
like, it's just like kill me now. and,
okay, yeah, to be
yeah,
fair, have not experienced that yet. Don't know if I will. At this point, haven't done it. I'm just going with traditional, hands, feet, arms,
yeah.
legs, hitting the mat because you jumped wrong situations.
So, if someone were to come to you at a show, someone who is now getting started themselves or wants to get started, or anybody listening to this podcast wants to
hmm
get started, what's the best advice that you could give someone to who wants to get started or who's just coming into getting started? What's the best sort of like advice that you can give when it comes to working on shows, training, bits and pieces like the do's and don'ts when it comes to wrestling.
Absolutely. So the first thing I would say, like if they were at a show in Fredericton, I would say, reach out to the River Valley Athletics Club if you are local. Um, I think right now they are the only one of the few like wrestling training kind of clubs going on. There might be one more, I don't know, to be honest, in the area. So I'd say like reach out to them, start coming to training, and like you really have to commit because life does get busy, but like you're not going to get better unless you keep going and you kind of commit yourself to it. Like it's not really something that you can half-ass because it's a safety issue, you know? Um and like you just don't you might not get that same fulfillment out of it. But while you're training, volunteer shows. We're always looking for people to like work security, help with setup, work the merch table, it's just like a fun place to be. Even if you're not on the show, you get to watch the show for free and you
Yeah.
get to like help out. It's so great. Handshake, shake everybody's hand. I mean,
Mm.
everybody's sick right now, so maybe sanitize. But like, it's like a real thing that I didn't know before I started wrestling is like everybody shakes everybody's hand and it's like
Mm.
it's a respect thing. It's like acknowledging everybody's importance, like wrestling shows, there's people who wrestle and then there's like referees and there's like people who run the merch table and there's people who run the sound and there's people who run the canteen and there's security and there's people who
Mm.
set up. Like it's such a big like event with so many moving parts. Like it cannot happen without like every single piece of the puzzle. So it's so
Mm.
important to really like acknowledge everybody, like and
Mm.
everybody's contributions. Like I said, like it's not going to happen unless you have people for all of these different things and everybody's working really hard. So I would also say hit the gym.
Mm.
Not to be stereotypical, it really does help because unfortunately, like, I mean, you don't have to be like the most dedicated gym goer like in the whole world, like super meal plan, like lifting 500 pounds, but like having that little bit of like stamina and being able to, at the very least, like lift people up or, practice your box jump so you can jump on the ropes. Like, there's so many different like little skills that go into being a wrestler that you don't really like think about like functionally until you start training it. And it really
Yeah.
does make a difference. Like thinking about, before I got injured and like how I was training to like coming back and like having lost some of that like functional like ability to like bend my ankle, like seeing the difference and like having to like train those things back, like it does make such a huge difference. And just, try it. If you feel like
Mm.
trying it, it's so fun, even if you don't like it in the long run, which usually, I'm pretty sure they will if they're already thinking maybe I want to try wrestling. Like, it's so fun. You could even have a story to say, hey, I trained in pro wrestling. Like,
Mm.
it's great
Yeah,
physical activity too. So, like,
yeah,
there's literally nothing to lose in trying it out.
yeah, exactly. With the whole going up to people, like introducing yourself, shaking
Mm-hmm.
everybody's hand. I always say, if that's the only even if that's the only conversation that you ever intend on having with that one particular person, still have that conversation anyway,
Absolutely.
because someone could be watching you do this, and
Mm-hmm.
they're like, well, this is a respectful person, like I might might refer them to go work for here and there and that and like this other place.
Mm-hmm.
Do you know what I mean? So if
Yeah,
you're a good human being, then it could easily get you like more work elsewhere. Do you know what I mean? Because
absolutely.
like the saying goes, you never know who's watching. Do you know what I mean?
Absolutely.
You know. Plus as well, like it's a respect thing, and respect
Mm-hmm.
goes a very long way, especially like in wrestling. Do you know what I mean? If you're in it for yourself, ego up to here, you ain't gonna get nowhere. Do you know what I mean?
No.
You know.
Yeah.
Um, So yeah, good personality. You know, as I said, if like, that's the only conversation that you intend on having with someone, whether you like the person or not, what I mean. It's still like common courtesy, as they say. You know what I mean.
Absolutely.
So yeah, Richie said, "Good etiquette is priceless." Exactly,
Mm.
exactly. You know. Um, so yeah. So, for anybody watching this podcast who would like to follow you on social media and
Absolutely.
would like to sort of follow your career going
Mm-hmm.
forward, where can everybody find you on social media?
Absolutely. So the best place to find me right now is on Instagram. It is at X Salem Wilder, SALEMWILDER. It's on the screen right there. Just put an X in front of it. Um, I trying to be more active, trying to get a second degree, so posting's been a little bit out of whack right now. I'll get back on her, I swear. That's the best place to follow me. I do also have a Facebook page just under the name Salem Wilder. Those are the two best places. Trying to start up a TikTok. That might be a summer project, but Instagram definitely the place to be for me.
Mm. So, Salem, I must say it's been an absolute pleasure to have you on this evening. Have you got anything else to add onto the end of this podcast?
Um, you know what? I'll probably think of something when I hang up here, but I don't. But thank you so much for having me on. Uh, my first wrestling podcast. I'm so excited. Thanks for welcoming me and my cat. She's
No
over here
worries.
watching me. I'm hoping, everybody, if they're local to me, can come out to see Capital City Wrestling on Saturday or in Prince Edward Island on February 28th. And if you can't do that, catch it online. CCW will upload their shows, individual matches online, and IPW puts their matches on YouTube, and then the VIP matches go on Patreon. So
Mm.
super excited to get back, dive headfirst into wrestling. So thank you so much for having me on. I like your shirt, by the way. I've been looking at it the whole time.
Thank you. Yeah. There's a subscription box over it called WrestleCrate UK.
Oh
Like they make
yeah.
all their own merch. I've got a massive pile of autographs from people. Shit.
That's so cool.
So yeah, got like a massive pile of stuff here. So yeah, Saxon Huxley, he's
Oh hell
former
yeah.
Pro Wrestling Network GHC Heavyweight Tag Team Champion. Wrestled
Yeah.
for NXT UK. I've refereed him in a death match
Mhm.
before, and quite a few others as well. I think I've got MJF, AJ
That's
Lee.
cool. Yeah, cool. Oh my God, I love AJ Lee. I
Brilliant,
when
isn't
she came back, I was like, and I wasn't even like I said, I wasn't watching wrestling in the Divas era. Like,
Yeah,
I'm like a 2020s wrestling fan, but like, trust me, I went back and watched it all. And so like I was so I had an inkling she was coming back, but I literally like stood up and like tears.
yeah.
It was so good. Yeah.
What made me laugh about the AJ Lee autograph is they literally announced that she was going to be doing like the main like autograph for us great literally the week before she came back on SmackDown. And,
Oh
so that,
yeah.
like, I think that was kind of like a spoiler sort of thing. And
Yeah, no, I love that.
uh, I can't think of her name. What's her name? B Priestley, Will Ospreay's
Hmm.
missus. And yeah, quite a few others as well.
That's so awesome.
And
I've got a such a
yeah,
huge like drawer. All of a sudden I've collected so many wrestling t-shirts. I
mm,
don't know, like I've been buying them and I've been like trading them, like, like merch for merch.
yeah,
I've ended up with drawers full and they've all got the sleeves cut off. Like I think that's also like a thing. Like when you start wrestling, you just need to start cutting the sleeves off of all your shirts. This is like my one Salem t-shirt that still has sleeves. Like I swear to God. And
yeah.
somehow I went to Raw when it was in Quebec in August, my first big professional wrestling show. Incredible. Uh, left with like two or three shirts. I blacked out. I don't even remember. Like completely sober, blacked out, bought multiple shirts. It's fine.
Uh, I've never really been a collector of anything. Like the only sort of things that I've got are the autographs that I've had out of
Hmm.
WrestleCrate, the shirts that I've had out of WrestleCrate, and these like they're known as bitty Funko Pops. Um,
Oh, cute. Oh,
everything falling out. So
no, it's okay. I love them. That's so cute.
so yeah, like, they're literally obviously Funko Pops, but like miniature
Yeah,
versions of them.
I
And
love that.
I got them off Amazon. Couldn't tell you like how much I paid for them, but yeah. So
They're fun to have. I
uh,
just bought a regular size CM Punk Funko Pop. I saw it. It's like the pipe bomb promo
yeah,
gear.
yeah,
And I was like, I need this. So he's like on my shelf. I'm a collector. Don't have like
yeah.
a lot of wrestling stuff, but I'm sentimental. So if it means something to me, I want to keep it. Someone gifts me something, but that was like the weekend that I saw Raw live and I saw like it was like the tag match with CM Punk and LA Knight and like
Mm.
Braun and I was like, "Oh my God, CM Punk, you are coming home with me." So he's on my shelf.
Uh, this is what I mean. Wrestling's brilliant, isn't it? You know what I mean?
It's so
So
great.
yeah. Richie's put another comment in. Salem, what's your favourite dinosaur? Completely like wrestling related, but yeah, what's your favourite
No, I
dinosaur?
love it. That's a great question and like I really wish I knew dinosaur names right now, but like I really love the whole like genus of dinosaurs who have long necks, like Brontosaurus and stuff like that. Like that's my
Mm.
vibe of dinosaurs. I have another cat and she lays on the bed and she like sticks her neck out and it makes her look like a dinosaur. And it's just like it's so freaky. Like how can they have a neck like that and not need to go to the chiropractor? Like it so I don't know. Any type of long neck dinosaur, I am all there for.
Yeah. Like personally, I've never really been a fan of dinosaurs, or like I couldn't tell you what of like pinpointing names to specific dinosaurs.
Yeah.
Like a velociraptor or you
Yeah, like
know
I know some of
whatever.
those, but you know what though, Richie? I love my guilty pleasure is going on TikTok and watching videos where people dig up dinosaur fossils. So that's one of them.
Mm.
That's my extent of dinosaur knowledge, other
Mm.
than what you learn in like elementary school when there's like the boy, okay, sauropod. Thank you. I've learned something today.
Yeah. Um. But yeah, honestly, Salem, it's been an absolute pleasure having you on this evening. Um. So yeah, um, as we've said a bit earlier on, ladies and gentlemen, please do follow Salem Wilder on Instagram, Facebook. Once you get to go in TikTok,
There's an account there. There's just nothing on it.
go follow her anyways. And yeah, also please do wish her luck in her second degree that she's currently doing as well. Yeah,
Absolutely.
so
Thank you.
ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, people of the Nerdic Pro podcast, thank you all very, very much for watching live. If you like what you see, then please do give us a subscribe here on YouTube. Check us out on Facebook, Instagram, TikTok, and on Spotify as well. And also keep supporting professional wrestling, keep supporting independent wrestling. And yeah, Salem, it's been an absolute pleasure. I did forget to mention before we came live, when I finish the stream, we'll go back into the lobby thing that we were in beforehand, before we came live. And I keep forgetting to mention that to people. And yeah,
Good.
so yeah, Salem, thank you very much for having your first ever wrestling podcast appearance here on the
Thank
Nerdic
you
Pro
so
podcast.
much for
Very
having me.
much
I had so
appreciated.
much fun. I've had so much fun. Thank you for letting me just talk at you for an hour. It's been a pleasure.
It's the entire point of a podcast, you know,
I
talking
know, it's
about
great.
random stuff.
I was born for
Yeah,
this.
yeah. So yeah, honestly, saying it's been a pleasure. Thank you all very much for those of you watching live. And yeah, we shall be seeing you all later. Thank you all very much for watching, and yeah, goodbye.